back to the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. This is the Attack the Rack Daily Lineup. Today is Wednesday, October 2.
Guys, every family party or social event needs something special. Bubba's Bounce House Rentals LLC can do that for you. They provide inflatable bounce houses and water slides on top of great service in the West Michigan Lakeshore area. Call Bounce Master Sam at 616-485-0257 today and mention Attack the Rack to get $25 off your next rental. Also, find Bubba's Bounce House Rentals LLC on Facebook. Bubba's Bounce House Rentals. All we rent is fun.
And as always, we've got Trent, we've got Big Mo, we've got myself here. Quick announcement. As if you guys watched our podcast on last Saturday morning, Big Mo and I were talking. I'm having surgery next Tuesday. We're going to go on ahead and take the week off due to prep for that and recovery from that. And then we will be back on Monday, October the whatever it is, the next
whatever day that is.
The following Monday, we'll be right back at you. Back on track. So
that'd be the 14th, Kurt. The 14th.
Yeah, okay. Actually, the 14th, I will be out of town, but we'll figure it out. So
I'm sure we will.
We'll figure it out. So anyway, yeah, you won't see us next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Still keep an eye on the channel for other videos, clips, shorts, and then yeah, we'll be back on the 14th. All right, let's get into this today. Right now, we're as we are recording, about halfway through the Tigers-Astros game 2, score being 0-0. I think we're going to the bottom half of the fourth right now. Guys, let's talk about yesterday's game. What a win that was. Got a little bit crazy there at the end, but it's sure was nice to get a win in game 1, and certainly a lot of pressure is removed when you win that first game.
Yeah, and I feel like it's never easy with the Tigers once you start getting in the bullpen. So it was good for them to squeak that one out, and it would have just sucked to lose a game to Jason Hayward. So I'm glad that we were able to get through that. But Scuba was great, helps a ton. Yeah. Early runs, second inning runs. So then we just kind of coasted the rest of the way. But yeah, good game overall.
Yeah, I mean, come on, it's the Tigers. It's not supposed to be easy.
True.
I mean that's a game of like what this far. If that ball goes a little bit higher, probably over the first baseman's head, and it's game over. So yeah, it's a big win. We'll see if they get it done tonight, though. Let's burn some couches in Detroit.
Just what they need. Yeah.
We've been pretty early. Big Mo and I've been pretty honest about not watching the Tigers. Following it. I got to tell you, I used to be a huge fan, and I got to tell you, immediately when I started watching that game yesterday, my fandom immediately returned, and I was on my edge of the seat for the whole game. Just the end of that game, thinking I can't imagine how heartbroken I'm going to be if we lose this game. It all came back just like that. Another observation I had is, wow.
I got an observation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I listened to it, but I listened to the TV announcing. And was that horrible, or was it just me?
Yeah, they weren't great.
I mean, I love Tim Kurchin. I mean,
I was going to say,
that's old school. Tim Kurchin, fine.
Yeah.
He's going to do what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, baseball tonight, I've been a fan. When growing up, I was a fan. Yeah. I don't do it anymore. And he might be like 400 years old. But I was like, this is so weird. It's just like so nonchalant.
Well, you think there's how many games going on that day? How you got your top crew, your next crew, your next crew, your next crew, your next crew. How far down the totem pole do they throw the crew at the Tigers Astros, the 3 and the 6 seed?
Yeah, good point. It just didn't seem like there was a ton of
going on.
There was only 2 going on at the same time.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're all covered by ESPN and ABC either, so I could be wrong, but I think there's 3 games yesterday, right?
Yeah.
That means there's 3 crews out there.
Yeah.
Just not very high energy, you know?
Yeah, it was just
Oh,
weird. It was
yeah.
just kind of like, yeah, blame, blame, blame. I was like, what? No. I mean, Tim Kirchin, throw me all the facts you got. I love it.
Love the guy. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. I don't even know who the other guy was, but I was like, do we got any excitement in this? Like,
Yeah.
it's the playoffs. Let's go.
Yeah. The one thing I did like that they kind of talked about was when they do like the intros before the game starts, and usually you get some boos for like the superstars that are on the team.
Yeah.
And they're like, it just kind of felt like that the Astros didn't know who to boo because we don't really have a superstar. So when they just called
you don't know
everybody's
who
name,
the guys are.
it was like, oh,
dude,
okay, sweet. Like,
I'll tell you
awesome.
that will lead me into what I was going to say, my other observation. As Detroit Tiger batter after batter after batter after batter came up to the plate and they show their stats, I'm like, how did they win at all?
I know.
With these batting averages and these lack of home runs and these lack of RBIs, how did they get wins?
Bunch of singles.
You know what you should do, Kirk? Because you got some anxiety building for your big day next Tuesday. You should try to break down each of the Detroit Tigers starters' second half batting averages / home runs, RBIs.
Yeah, more so from mid-August. Yeah.
Yes, from whenever they started the streak, and then see, because I wonder how different that looks if the bats got a little bit hot or just got a little bit better.
Well,
or if it was just big play, like they just hit the ball exactly when they needed to, and the other times they suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then first time actually getting to watch Screwball pitch. Woo!
Stud.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
He brings it. He does bring it.
He's good. He's very good. Yeah. Hopefully we can keep him around for a while.
Yeah, hopefully. He's gonna probably be offered $1 billion by the Yankees, Dodgers, and Red Sox.
I know. We know how we are with our money in Detroit. So usually like the year we had Verlander, Scherzer, Porcello, Galarraga. I think we had all of them at the same time, and we still didn't win.
That is amazing, actually.
All right. Well, hey, speaking of baseball, guys, we lost a baseball legend actually the same day when Dikembe Mutombo passed away. The great legend Pete Rose passed away. Obviously, one of the greatest baseball players of all time, surrounded by all kinds of controversy. Obviously, with the gambling stuff, being banned from baseball, not being in the Hall of Fame. But my goodness gracious, what a phenomenal, phenomenal player. I don't understand why his name is not brought up when you talk about the Mount Rushmore of baseball players or the, top 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 baseball players of all time. Maybe it was, he didn't hit a ton of home runs. He was more of obviously a hit guy. Career batting average 303, 4,256 hits, a record that will never be broken.
That's a lot.
I read an article that where was he? Was he Cincinnati?
He was, mostly Cincinnati, but a lot of time in Philadelphia. And did he also play? Yeah, Expos too, a little bit. Yeah.
They in Cincinnati, they had to ban people from using his hit number for their ATMs because there was so much theft.
No way.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy story?
Wow.
It was such a popular PIN number that they actually ended up banning it.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
Crazy.
Good thing DraftKings wasn't around back then for him.
well, that's the thing. So I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, right? Because you got this guy who, one of the greatest, baseball players of all time, has probably one of the most immortal records of all time in all of sports, the hit king. but he's not in the Hall of Fame. And they have the rules. He broke the rules. The penalty is set for what happens when you break those rules, and I guess you can't really blame baseball for doing what they did, but gosh,
Didn't he, but didn't he always gamble on his own team? Like he was gambling like for his team, wasn't he? It wasn't like
yes,
he
there's
was
no
gambling
evidence.
like, oh, I'm not gonna get a hit today, and then he would intentionally go out and go 0 for 4.
Exactly. It does not appear that he was, throwing any games. He was always betting on his team.
And
Um,
also, how many like steroid users are in the Hall of Fame?
yeah,
Like, what's like at least he didn't cheat that way, and he
right.
didn't really even cheat. He
He
just
didn't cheat at
gambled on
all.
his own team. So I
He
think
didn't cheat at
I think
all.
it's not really fair if you're gonna put people who are on steroids into the Hall of Fame and not put him in just because he gambled on his team winning a baseball game.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think that, but again, you go back to there's a rule in place. There's a penalty for that rule, and unfortunately, he did break that rule.
Yeah,
Is it? You think it'd be more shameful if they ended up putting him in now that he's passed?
I
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'd still like to see that, um, but it's almost like if you're his family,
you wouldn't want it.
would you be like, screw you guys? I don't know. And
Uh,
here's another thing. I saw an interesting tweet that said Pete Le- Pete Rose, the ban was a lifetime ban. His life is now over. So now is the ban removed?
no, shit.
Yeah, I mean, if we put it that way, yes. But for him to not be able to like go accept it and to go be there for it and like that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it puts you on edge, right? Because you're like, it'd probably be nice, good way to remember him.
Yeah.
But then for him not to be part of it would be kind
Well,
of
and
ridiculous.
what's crazy is even though he's not a member of the Hall of Fame, he's all over the Cooperstown in Hall of Fame with memorabilia and stories and posters and things like that. He's
Yeah,
just not actually a member of it.
because he
Is
was great.
is the what was the White Sox team that got banned? Are they in the Hall of Fame, or are they banned too lifetime?
I believe that, yeah, none of them are either.
None
Yeah.
of them are. Okay, I was just
What'd
wondering.
they do?
They
The
threw a game, didn't they? They
yeah,
threw
the
the game.
Black Sox, they were called the Black Sox back then, early 1900s. Shoeless Joe Jackson, him and seven of his teammates allegedly, um, threw the World Series.
Really? Did they
Um,
get paid to do it?
yeah, yeah, that's why they did it. Yeah. It's all
Allegedly.
because, people that say it can't be true, you look at Shoeless Joe Jackson stats, or at least to say that, a lot of people like to argue that there's no way he was at least involved in it.
Hmm.
You look at his stats in the World Series, apparently they were phenomenal. He was phenomenal statistically in that World Series. I think it was the 1908 World Series, maybe.
I think so.
Um, and so a lot of people will argue, well, that's ridiculous that he got banned from baseball. Look at his stats. There's no way he was throwing the series. But speaking of that track, two good movies about it. One, Field of Dreams, starring Kevin Costner,
Okay.
and then Eight Men Out, another movie about it.
8 men out. All right. I
Yeah.
got quite the list I gotta watch.
Yeah. Did you ever watch The Natural?
No. No.
Well, hey, we're going to be at a break next week. Maybe a great
Yeah.
time to get in one or two of those movies.
Maybe I watched some movies that week.
1919 World Series, by the way.
1919. Okay, sure.
1908 World Series, Kurt. And you brought that up, kind of eerie.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Cubs beat the Tigers.
Oh, geez. Maybe that's why I have that number in my head. It was like when the Cubs finally, every year the Cubs haven't won the World Series since 1908. That's probably why I've got
That's
that.
probably why. You're right. Yeah.
Hey, Tigers update for all you fans out there. We are now in the top of the fifth now. Still 0-0. And when everyone's watching this, the game will be over. So
I always forget about
If
that.
you didn't see the game, we'll bring you the highlights as they come.
Yeah, that was kind of weird talking about previewing the Tigers Astros when that's why I put it out. I did end up putting that one out early, kind of as the game was starting yesterday. So otherwise, you watch it after the game and we're talking about previewing the series. It was
Yeah.
time-wise not great, but all right. Hey, one last thing we still haven't talked about Monday Night Football, Detroit Lions home against the Seahawks. What an incredible game.
Yeah, that was a great game. Fun to watch. Unis are great.
Ooh, those were slick.
Yeah. Unis look great. But
Now
yeah, golf was
they've worn those before, like 40 years ago or something like that, or the combination that color.
even with the helmet.
Well, obviously not
Yeah,
but the
yeah.
Honolulu blue, the black and the Honolulu blue was an old school uni, I thought I heard.
It's a
Well, I
great
remember them. I remember wearing that color scheme with when Calvin Johnson was playing,
Oh,
but
really?
not the helmet. I think the helmet was something
Okay.
new. And I'm not one for alternative jerseys, but woo, those look nice.
yeah, they can keep those around.
Yeah.
I like those a lot. And they played really well in them, so I'll take that too.
Yeah, Jared Goff, unbelievable. Didn't even throw one incomplete pass.
Yeah, the one he threw got called back for a penalty, so
Yeah.
it didn't count. But yeah, it was like the first quarterback ever to throw for perfect or whatever, so it's pretty
Um,
sweet. But yeah,
also,
offense is tough. They got some holes on defense, but then again, the Seahawks offense is semi powerful. You
Yeah,
kind of have to
they got
walk.
two good backs. Geno
yeah,
Smith has
Yeah.
been serviceable.
right.
Yep.
We got him under a lot of pressure, but I don't think we hardly ever got to him. I don't know what the sack total ended up being,
A lot of pressures though.
but I thought we pressured him, but he did a nice job of getting rid of it before they got to him. And let's
Sure.
not forget, we're missing a starting inside backer. Definitely missing Branch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge piece of what the Lions do. So I heard a couple hot takes about the Detroit defense, and you know what? It's if you watched them last year and you've watched them this year,
Way better.
180 degrees flip. Like
Agreed.
they even in the secondary, way more physical. Like I love the fact that we were beating the crap out of Metcalf and
DK.
Lockwood. Like
Yep.
take a couple penalties, but beat the living smack out of them.
Yeah.
Hmm. The last one they called on Davis in the end zone was crap too. That was
Yeah,
a
oh yeah,
that was a bad call. But we did give up 530 yards of total offense.
we did, but you know what? That's a little bit like the Lions. Once you shrink the field, it gets a little bit tougher.
For sure.
And you take away 70 yards of Metcalf. With Metcalf, I think it was like his touchdown was 70 yards, wasn't it? Or it was a little bit shorter.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was similar.
And
It
that
was
was that
close.
was like a blown double coverage. That safety should have got over the top of that and knocked that thing down easy.
Yeah.
So
And then time of possession was crazy because we were just scoring so fast. We were just moving the ball down the field and scoring
Yeah.
touchdowns.
That's
well,
that was fun to watch. JMO, speaking of long touchdowns, he had another long one.
He started celebrating at the 30.
Yeah.
there was nobody around him.
He's
There's
so
zero.
fast. He can celebrate at the 30 on a breakaway and not get caught. That poor DB from the Seahawks, though, Witherspoon,
Oh, truck
he
him. Truck
got
him, Montgomery.
trucked, and then he got burned by JMO. And obviously, him and Amon Ra don't like each other because that one pass they threw up the middle where it kind of got stood up. Amon Ra was in his kitchen talking smack. So I love that stuff. But I think JMO might be one of my favorite guys because he's always in the mix. I think he talks a lot of crap, and I enjoy that.
I love seeing that old school high step.
But yeah, at the 30.
And then how about that play how about Amon Ra touchdown pass to
Oh,
receiver Jerry Goff?
it was beautiful.
On the dime.
Yeah, it was.
In the
Oh.
basket. In the bread basket. He didn't even reach for it.
Yeah, it was perfect pass.
Having both of those guys in my starting fantasy football lineup got me about 1,000,000 points. So
What do you get for a wide receiver touchdown pass?
double and quarterback receiving a touchdown double.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Did you actually win? Did you win?
I did. I actually won the week too.
Hopefully.
Actually won the week too.
Okay.
Yeah, most
You got a
points in
special
the
prize for that?
$10.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
You should do that a lot more often.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah, just think if I did that every week.
yeah. Can they do that more often? Yeah. But yeah, the Montgomery run was huge. It was 21-14. Then
Oh,
he ran over Witherspoon and then went for another 25-ish after that.
that was awesome.
He's
Oh,
tough.
I
He,
love both our running backs. I just hope
yeah.
I hope they love it too, and I hope that they don't want to. One of them doesn't want to leave
I
to be.
think I think right now they do. Did you see after Montgomery's first touchdown? Might have been because he had one touchdown, I think.
Yeah. Gibbs had two.
One of the
Montgomery
first
had one.
guys there was Gibbs off the bench
Yeah.
Okay.
in the end zone, like celebrating with him.
I
So
think it's hard to not love it when you both get somewhere between 12 to 15 touches a game
Yeah.
and you're more than likely going to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know, like the part that I can see where it gets annoying is if Montgomery gets the drive and then marches them all the way down the field and then they sub in Gibbs on the 2 and then they run him for a touchdown, which I could see where that would get a little weird. But then again, if you're a team guy, then you should have no issue with it at all.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. If this offense keeps on the trajectory it is, they may overtake that great St. Louis Rams offense and now be called the newest and the greatest show on turf.
wow,
Yeah, they're impressive. That was a great win.
big expectations.
And now going into a bye week, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys. Anything else? We're going to be on quite a break here, 10, 11, 12-day break. Anything you got to get off your chest?
Now, did you see Colin Cowherd's hot take on the Lions?
No. What do you say?
Questioning Dan Campbell.
Oh, geez.
How do you question Dan Campbell?
I mean,
Said he needs it. He's built it. He's got it going, but he needs to kind of hone in and be a little sharper. I said, I don't know about that.
yeah.
No.
I mean, I don't. He obviously does make some clock management mistakes here or there. Decision. There's some decisions you could question, but the overall good 1000% outweighs those situations.
Oh yeah.
But that's also what made the Lions kind of what they are now is him being aggressive and him being
Confident
in what he does and believing in the guys. And I think that just feeds off to the players.
100%.
Especially when they're grown men, like trying to convince grown men that it's the right thing to do. And like, it's different than like coaching high schoolers and trying to convince them, so I think what he has done is good enough for me until they lose 16 in a row. Like,
yeah, I would say be who you are until the playoffs, and then make sure you're sharp as buddy.
Right.
Yes,
right.
Yeah, like maybe dial back the risk taking late into the playoffs.
Exactly.
But Ben Johnson's
but until then,
don't change.
Don't get him.
Yeah,
don't get him.
Don't change a thing.
Nope.
Oh, I love it. All right. Well, hey, we'll see you Monday, October the 14th.